it's me again, and tonight I want to share with you a little video sequence for partner yoga assists. As a massage therapist, I know that I've been missing body work through this quarantine phase, so it's a great way to release tension with a partner you're very comfortable with, especially to be able to communicate how far to go into different massage techniques so that you prevent injury. So please follow along, and then once the video is done, reciprocate with your partner. All right, come on, great. So receivers, go ahead and lie down onto your back in Shavasana. Be very mindful of your body mechanics. Lift from underneath their ankles with a straight spine, strong core, so that you're not muscling through this. Just start to gently rock forward and backwards. Tiny little movements so that they're just rocking from their sacrum all the way up to their skull to help decompress the spine. Just very gently, nothing harsh. Again, using good body mechanics for those of you giving right now. Root down into your feet and stand all the way up. And then from here, we'll have receivers. Bend your knees into your chest. So this is similar to pranasage, but I'm having the receivers participate a little bit more so that it's not so much hard work on the givers. So you can either grab a hold of the knees and start to gently press knees to chest. Does this feel okay? Mm-hmm. And always check in with your partner to make sure you're not going too far. And for people who you feel really a lot of resistance to, or their legs kind of start to spread apart, you can use your knees to pin the ankles or shins in and get your forearms right below their knees and on their shins. One hand on each knee. Again, using your body to just lean in. Maybe it's small, slow little pulses. Get right into the hip flexors. It's a nice stretch into the low back. Receivers, feel free to take deep breaths whenever you feel like it, intuitively. Always communicate if it's going too far. And then from here, we'll take it into a spinal twist. So receivers, take your knees over to your right. Again, be gentle, because especially if you're not warmed up, it might start to feel a little achy or tight, so don't force anything. And then givers, just take your hand, one right at that hip bone. You'll feel that where their hip bone is. Just a slight push down, and with the other hand, maybe you can kind of stroke the IT band, which can get really tight. I'm using my leg here to prevent the legs from slipping out. Good body mechanics. Again, my shoulder's right over my wrist, so I'm not jamming in any weird position. I'm just pressing straight down. And then switch sides, receivers, knees back through center, knees over to the opposite side. Slow, allowing them to come into their natural shape first before pressing down at all. And again, never jam into it. One hand right by the hip bone, the other hand can stroke the IT band, just softly warm into it. And receivers can really breathe into the chest. It's a really nice chest opener there too, as well as the stretch into the low back here, into the lats, and into the outer hip and IT bands. And then knees back up through center. And then go ahead and just release your legs back down. I'm going to walk towards the head. We'll just do a little chest press to help open up the pecs. So take the heels of your hands and don't go on the collarbone because there are a lot of nerves here. that go into the arms, so we don't want to press on those. Find the heel of your hand right on the pecs, the meaty part. If you're looking that way, it's right below or above the collarbone. So feel where the collarbones are and then press the heels of your hands into the pecs, or the heels of the hand, or the fingers can be pointing outwards like this too. A little cat paw can feel nice. Does that feel okay?
Mm-hmm.
Side to side. Again, mind your body mechanics. Keep your core engaged so that it's not all just jamming into the wrists. All right, from here, receivers, just go ahead and flip onto your belly. You can turn your head either side. You can either have arms in the cactus or arms just down by your sides like he has. And then we're going to take the heels of our hands again and come into a lunge. Again, finding good body mechanics, so we're not muscling into it. We're using our lunge, the weight of our bodies, to get into these nice compressions into the muscles. So the heels of the hands, just along the side of the spine, cat pawing, side to side gently. Everybody's different, so communicate with your partner as to what feels good. And then you'll find the sacrum, which is the flat bone, right at the base of the spine, just right by the hip bones. Again, the heels of your hands. And I'm pressing down, but also mostly that way to lengthen this tailbone towards his heels. Again, if you feel like you're jamming too far down, take a step back with your heels, so the direction of the push is more that way. You get a nice stretch here too for yourself. Little cat paw all the way back up either side of the spine. And then push back into child's pose. For those of you that are a lot tighter, you can always use a pillow in between your calves and your hamstrings. And then, again, being very mindful of how far to go, because everybody's very different in their flexibility here. So for this, the direction of the push is this way. So when I was standing that way, it's the same direction. So it's easiest if you turn your fingers down towards their toes and find the sacrum, the flat bone, and just a very gentle cat paw of the heels of your hands on their upper glutes from side to side. So it's not their low back up here. Find that flat bone and press down to help lengthen the low back. Here, if you like, you can take your hands to their shoulders, give a little squeeze or a little massage there. And then receivers, just as a transition, come through downward facing dog. So plant your hands, lift your hips. This is just a transition. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Bend your knees a lot and have your feet wider than your hips. Grab a hold of opposite elbows to start. Drop your head. So this is ragdoll pose. And then givers, we're gonna find that sacrum, that flat bone again. And just soft fists, you're just gonna start to pound very gently with the own weight of your hands next to the sacrum, maybe a little bit to the side, the upper glutes. And then receivers, you're gonna slowly start to roll up one vertebrae at a time. And then givers, your fists are just gently pounding the erector muscles on either side of the spine as they roll up, ending with gentle fists at the traps. Maybe a little squeeze. I'm going to have Grant turn around so you can see this last little assist to help them stand tall. One hand at the sacrum. You can use the back of your hands, maybe even gently pressing down again. Using the back of the other hand, I'm going to sweep all the way up the spine. All the way up the neck, up the head. See if you can find the crown of the head, and with the tips of your fingers, just gently press down at the top of the head. This outlines the spine and encourages them to lift up through the crown of the head. Then hands again on the shoulders, sweep down with heavy hands down the arms. Maybe give a tug to the fingers, especially the middle finger. And then you're gonna sweep your hands down their calves, down to their Achilles tendon or their heels. With thumb on the inside, rest of the fingers on the outside. Just press straight down. And givers, if you want, you can even come into kind of a forward fold yourself if you like, or squat, whatever works for you. All right, so that's just a quick little reset. Thanks, Grant. Namaste. Hope you enjoy. And remember to switch roles.